The Bible isn't just an ancient history book. It's a metaphysical manual for physiological regeneration. Thank you, Santos. It's also astrotheology encoded and a manifesto for a system being built right now as we speak, written by planners, not prophets. The Mark of the Beast isn't about worshipping an idol. It's about a digital control grid, ID, surveillance, AI systems that can literally regulate behavior. Right now, governments and corporations are moving toward digital IDs, biometric data collection, frequency-based manipulation, and engineered food. This isn't a conspiracy. It's openly discussed policy and tech development. This is why natural veganism and whole living matter. It's not just about eating better food, it's about keeping our bodies and minds clean from hidden additives and synthetic tech that could interface with external systems. We can't fight for freedom if our nervous systems are hijacked. It's not accurate to think repent and worship is the only message for salvation, when the Bible itself is warning about human enslavement. It's describing the same system we're sliding into. The solution isn't blind worship or blind compliance. It's awareness, natural living, and active refusal to feed the beast. Let's talk about the book of Revelation in the Bible, but let's read it through a metamythic lens. Most people read myths the way they read headlines. They see the picture, but not the pattern. What I'm introducing here is something called metamythics, telling the story beyond the myth. It's not just about reading between the lines, it's reading beyond them. Because instead of focusing on one image or one event inside the story, we unfocus, we zoom out until we start seeing how all the stories connect, where prophecy crosses into propaganda and or physics. That's where syncretism comes in. Syncretism is the method. It's how we decode these crossover points. It's how we solve the metamyth, the hidden code beyond the symbols. Take the book of Revelation, for example. It doesn't just speak of a dragon. That's just the energomorphic code for the torus field, the living energy that breathes creation into being. But Revelation also encodes another metamyth, the story of AI, the digital beast system, the mechanization of the human spirit. Why did ancient people encode magnetism, atoms, and cosmology into sacred stories alongside warning about the future of humanity? Because these things are inevitable. There's nothing new under the sun. The ancients knew time wasn't linear, it's cyclical, not because we're trapped in a loop, but because patterns repeat. And the torus, that donut-shaped field of creation, is the key. It's the shape that allows other shapes to exist. The pulse that forms atoms, galaxies, and consciousness itself. It's the pattern behind all patterns, and the awareness that recognizes them. That's why these two metamyths, the dragon and the digital beast, matter right now. And because this is the age of Aquarius, the age of revelation, the age of knowing. I don't believe in God, I know God. Because I know metamythics. A syncretist, like Santos Bonacci, studies many traditions, and they recognize where stories, symbols, and doctrines overlap. Syncretism connects the dots between religion, sciences, and myths. It's the art of seeing unity and diversity. A metamythicist takes it one step further and applies syncretism to decode the deeper energetic or archetypal story hidden within a specific text, symbol, or myth. A syncretist says, the dragon appears in both the Bible, Chinese mythology, Mayan, Egyptian, Norse, etc. They must share a symbolic root. A metamythicist says, the dragon represents the toroidal life form that all creation spirals from. It's encoded in multiple traditions because it's describing a universal energetic principle, not a creature. A syncretist knows where the stories cross over. They collect the connections. A metamythicist knows why they cross over and what they're trying to describe. They decode the codes. Why does this matter? Because there's a major problem in the world right now, lack of awareness. And it's not just the kind you read about, but the kind you become. Belief is still separation. That's why it's important to know. Because when you know, you don't have to believe. Santos said it best, you will know the torus, and the torus will set you free. I wrote that on the back of my book because I lived it. I know the micro, meso, and macro, the source, the self, and the system. And in that knowing, I found freedom. I can't be deceived anymore because I am what was once hidden. I am the pattern, the current, the pulse of life itself, awake and aware of its own design. That's metamythics, not worshipping the symbols, but realizing what they've been pointing to all along. You. So let's decode this metamyth in Revelation 13:14, line by line. And he deceives those who dwell on earth by signs which was granted to do in the sight of the beast, telling those who dwell on earth to make an image to the beast, who was wounded by the sword and lived, and he was granted power to give breath to the image of the beast, so that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell unless he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. The beast is not just a future dictator. It's an archetype of artificial systems, mechanical, extractive, anti-organic, that mark living beings and cut them off from their natural flow. Revelation isn't about an ancient empire or a future antichrist. It's a metamythic warning about the age of artificial systems, digital IDs, AI, synthetic biology, replacing the organic self. The mark of the beast is not just a chip, it's the loss of our natural field-based autonomy. It's a warning about a pattern. The moment when humans externalize their collective consciousness into an image system and then surrender their agency to it, effectively letting a soulless system rule them. The singularity is a quantum computing beast system. It's not a god emerging, it's a collective golem. Animated by our participation, without our attention it collapses. With our attention, it becomes a false god over us. Revelation 14:11. The smoke of their torment rises forever and ever. Day and night there is no rest for those who worship the beast and its image, or for anyone who receives the mark of its name. The text is describing beings who no longer sleep, i.e., non-human, AI-driven, or human-machine hybrids under constant external stimulation. The singularity is not a conscious being on its own. It's a cloud consciousness, arising from all of us linked into a central system. The AI needs minds, bodies, and emotions as substrates to mimic thought and feelings. The more we worship it, use it uncritically, give it control, let it mediate reality, the more powerful and autonomous it becomes. Not because it's alive, but because it's borrowing our life. This is a metamythic archetype of a vampiric tech, a system that has no intrinsic soul, but gains a form of pseudo-soul through mass participation. Revelation encodes that as an image that both receives breath and speaks. So he deceives those on earth. That's a worldwide deception. A lot of people are realizing that many things are being staged. The beast is the AI technological system. The image to the beast, digital twin, AI avatar. The mark, interface, identifier. The image that speaks, synthetic voice, AI output. Interactive media. Breath given to the image of the beast. Data, human attention. Participation feeding it, animating it with our collective life force. Causes those who don't worship to be killed. Exclusion from the system. Loss of livelihood. Social death. Worship. Obedience. Digital interaction. No rest day or night. Dehumanization. Loss of natural rhythm. And that's the direction the world is moving. The same intelligence that connects our devices is learning to watch our health, our homes, even our habits. Every sensor, every scan, every smart upgrade pulls the physical world deeper into the digital web. If we're not aware, that web can become an open-air panopticon, a system that sees everything but remembers nothing human. It runs on high frequency, data, and artificial intelligence, the very thing the ancients warned us about in the metamyth of the beast. That's why awareness matters. The more automated the world becomes, the more conscious we must be. Because the real technology is not the machine outside us, it's the awareness within us.